Hi everyone, my name's Eden. You probably already know that, but today me and some of my friends wanted to make this video so we can teach you about the different styles of theater. So here's Izzy who's going to tell you about epic theater.
Hello everyone, I'm coming to you live from a very special place. This is a theater that performs many epic theater plays each year. Epic theater is a style of theater that was created by Bertolt Brecht, a German playwright and director in the 1920s. Brecht wanted to create a form of theater that expressed the complete opposite of what Konstantin Stanislavski's form of theater expressed. While Stanislavski's theater encouraged audiences to think deeply about their own emotions and form connections with characters, Brecht's epic theater wanted audiences to think logically and avoid becoming attached to any characters at all. In order to show audiences that the play they're viewing isn't real, epic theater incorporates special techniques. The alienation effect is used often. This effect causes audiences to think about what they've seen and relate it to present societal issues. Bright lights are shined on actors during performances. Scene changes are clearly visible to the audience. Not many props are included in the performance. Scenes are cut in on by songs or notes that are shown throughout the theater, and actors are discouraged from fully becoming their characters. At times, actors will even break the fourth wall and speak openly to audience members. Brecht found his inspiration for epic theater through his beliefs in Marxism and German Expressionism, and through Frank Wedekind, a pre-expressionist, and Erwin Pistater and Leopold Gessner, both of whom were expressionists. Epic theater is a style of theater that aims to open people's minds to see reality for what it truly is, and first became popular in 1949 for its new techniques and different points of view. Thank you and good night.
So now let me tell you about Theater the Absurd. Theater the Absurd was created to show that the human situation is absurd and devoid of purpose. Humankind in this view is feeling left hopeless, bewildered, and anxious. It was started by a French philosopher named Albert Camus after he released his analysis on the myth of Sisyphus in 1942. In this analysis, Camus states that the human life is essentially meaningless and it has no purpose. Why did he say this? Well, let me tell you what the myth of Sisyphus is. The myth of Sisyphus is a story about a man named Sisyphus who was condemned by the gods to roll a boulder up a hill, and then when it reached the top, it would roll right back down again. This basically states that the human life is meaningless. It has no purpose. It cannot be rationalized, and humans are just left feeling confused for what they do. This movement was very centered in Europe, mainly France, around the 1940s. The absurdist movement grew a lot after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in early August in 1945. Many people just could not wrap their heads around and made no sense of how the United States created such a big weapon, the atomic bomb, and killed millions of people and just didn't question it. This made people question human life and the meaning of it and how we possibly could create such a deadly weapon and not think twice about it. This made people start asking questions about life, trying to find meaning in things and find the purpose of the human existence. The term Theater the Absurd was first coined by a man named Martin Esslin in the 1960s. Right after many playwrights had already written plays, he created this so the playwrights could have a category to put their plays in. And many playwrights started writing in this style because they all share the idea that the human struggle of finding a purpose and controlling faith just can't happen, so the human life is essentially meaningless. Let me tell you some of the characteristics of absurdist play. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes if you see me looking over here. Many of these plays don't have a linear plot, or many of them don't have a plot at all. Some don't have resolutions at all, or the end of the play is the beginning. They are not realistic at all whatsoever. There's usually a lot of repetition in words or actions. There's puns. a lot of dialogue that doesn't make any sense. Characters lack motivation, so they might just do an action or say something that wasn't triggered. Like, they could say something out of nowhere that makes no sense. Very stereotypical characters. Some of the characters may not develop at all and stay the same throughout the whole play. The time and place and identity are frequently blurred, so we have no idea when this takes place or what time. It could be in the future, the past. We don't know, which is what adds to the confusion. Theater of the Absurd was created to make people question human life. I read somewhere that people instead of leaving this performance feeling depressed, they leave this performance leaving depressed, but doing something about it. They ask questions. They try to find an answer to the human life. And honestly, I think this is one of my favorite styles because it's very different. It's not realistic. Many of them are really funny if you get the puns. And some very famous plays that are in this style are Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett.
Que voulez-vous?
I beg your pardon?
Que voulez-vous?
Ah, que voulez-vous? Exactly.
And The Ballad Soprano by Eugene Ionesco.
Yes.
Oh.
Well,
Absolutely.
Oh. It's a clock.
Oh.
So yeah, that's Theater of the Absurd summed up.